This is a Fox News alert. Brand new Hillary Clinton emails showing Russian-linked hackers tried at least 5 times to break into Hillary Clinton's private email server. Secretary Clinton received infected emails disguised as speeding tickets to try to trick her into clicking on attachments. Now, those attachments would have then allowed the hackers to take control of Clinton's computers using malicious software. It is unclear if Clinton had clicked on any attachment exposed to her account. The on-the-record political panel is back. Rick.
Well, first thought is this is the upside of not driving for 20 years, is that she knew pretty quickly, you'd presume, that she didn't get those speeding tickets, so she didn't click on them. I think a lot of questions about this. How this email address would have surfaced to potential hackers with the Russian links, according to the Associated Press, when, of course, most of the world didn't even know that this email account existed until a few months ago. Someone knew that it existed. And when she was informed about this potential security breach, if she didn't click on it, did she know at the time that people were phishing in her email? Because she has touted the security of her own server in part of her defense of explaining why she didn't use official email.
Matt?
Yeah, I mean, and it does raise the question over whether she clicked on it or didn't click on it. You know, like, what was the security system like? We know in other ways she did not seem too technically advanced. You know, she was having people fax her things, you know, and she was having people print out her emails. So did she click on it? Was she aware enough of this to be suspicious?
Here's the problem, I think. This is August 3rd, 2011, which incidentally is a year before Benghazi, a year before election, just to put it if I didn't know anything about computers, and I don't know a whole lot, but if over 4 hours I got 5 weirdo emails as speeding tickets, I might mention it to someone. That would have been a really good time to get rid of that private server, I think. I mean, that's the real problem. I mean, you know, to what extent does this sort of put her on notice? Or did she always get these? Maybe it wasn't so weird, but that's just disguised as speeding tickets?
And who does she mention it to? Does she alert the State Department that, hey, my private server is being targeted in some way, or does she mention it to people who are running her private server? You know, if the alarm bells goes off for her,
or even at the breakfast table, you'd think, like, you know, maybe you'd have some discussion if you have such a secure system in your house, and you all of a sudden get a bunch of weirdo emails, I would think that you might say something about it. Maybe not.
And if she had a State Department email address, there'd be a protocol for that. There'd be spam filters. You'd be looking to catch emails like this directly.
I should say this, though, that Catherine Herridge has done some investigation. A source tells Fox News that FBI Director James Comey has begun briefing select lawmakers on the status of a HRC, Hillary Clinton server investigation, and confirmed that investigators are actively looking for evidence the server was compromised by a foreign entity hacker, but thus far no evidence has confirmed such a brief. Forensic computer specialists say a compromise will leave malicious code on the server that can be recovered. That's a note from Catherine Herridge this morning, and so she's obviously investigating that. So
this doesn't seem to have changed that, but it does raise a whole new series of questions.
And Donald Trump, our next topic, making some big news in New Hampshire just moments ago. The current GOP presidential frontrunner saying if he were elected, he would send home the Syrian refugees the White House is allowing to come to the United States.
I'm putting the people on notice that are coming here from Syria as part of this mass migration, that if I win, they're going back. They're going back. I'm telling you, they're going back.
Well, I think it fits in with his anti-immigration rhetoric, but I don't think that's a fully fleshed out proposal. I mean, if you're going to offer asylum to people to then you're going to send them home, it may be a good applause line, but I think this is exactly the sort of foreign policy, national security policy that we're hearing from him that's making people nervous about his candidacy. That doesn't seem to me like a serious consideration of the issues.
Matt?
And how do you, you're right. I mean, how do you deport people once they've come here under asylum?
Right.
You know, and I think it does raise a lot of new questions. But also, you never know what Donald Trump is going to say, and this is yet again another example of sort of.
And it raises, of course, a serious question. We're going to hear from the president of Austria in a few minutes, talking about this very serious question about these Syrian refugees. But Rick, Matt, thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.